A recent report from Jon Heyman has given Yankees fans an update as to what the plan is for the remainder of the offseason. We have a pretty scary quote from Aaron Boone about what this plan is and what the future for this Yankees team holds. We're going to be talking about everything here, breaking down why this could be one of the worst decisions in the Yankees offseason in the recent memory, and we're going to be breaking down why this needs to change in this video. Before we get into it, though, we know 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your New York Yankees news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join us here on the channel. We are covering everything New York Yankees. But without any further ado, let's get into this topic, what Aaron Boone had to say, and as I mentioned, why this is a horrible decision on the part of the New York Yankees. And it seems like the Yankees do have a new-ish plan on the side of the infield, where we've been looking at many names. And even though the Yankees have made many other additions to help this team out from where we were last season heading into this next season, there are still some moves that need to be made, but according to Jon Heyman, Aaron Boone, those moves may not happen. I'm going to pull up our first quote here, really going over what this whole situation is about and what Aaron Boone is talking about here. It says, analyst Jon Heyman spoke with the Yankees manager Aaron Boone, who told journalists that he has a new plan in mind. Boone mentioned that he is leaning towards, leaning on moving pieces that are already on the team, and then looking at anyone in a trade or the free agent market. This would involve moving Jazz Chisholm from third to second base to replace Torres, while Oswaldo Cabrera and DJ LeMahieu would be competing for the third base. Now, we're looking at this. We're looking at the many moves that the Yankees have made and considering this to be a win so far. Now, of course, that is a big one so far, is that the Yankees have made some excellent moves, ones that have really helped them along the way and are going to help them for sure this upcoming season. Now, we're still missing out on either a third baseman or a second baseman. We've had the idea. We've been looking at the recent moves, looking at how everything has played out. We've pretty much narrowed it down to Jazz playing second, Anthony Volpe on short, and on third base, we were going to look for that extra bit of signing. And we do have some names that we're going to touch on in a bit, going over some of the top ones. Of course, Alex Bregman being one after, of course, a few other moves. Christian Walker going to the Astros. He is no longer guaranteed to be on the Astros, and many other teams are still going to be looking at him. However, I don't know if I think the Yankees acknowledging the third base question ability that they have there right now in DJ LeMahieu and Oswaldo Cabrera, yeah, they can play third base, but the Yankees right now need to look at what they saw last year, especially in the playoffs, where they need some more solid infielders that are everyday guys in that position, fielding, hitting, everything combining into being an elite talent. And I know that you can't go out and get everybody you want. That really just has been a highlight of the Yankees offseason, that a lot of names they've been linked to, a lot of them they didn't get, and they had to pivot in a different direction. But with this Yankees infield, with the Yankees, experience in the playoffs last year, it was most certainly a point of emphasis on this offseason, adding to the infield, adding to the defense, and especially adding to the experience of being able to play in an atmosphere like that for this upcoming season. And with this move, with DJ LeMahieu potentially being there, Oswaldo Cabrera, that really doesn't answer the question that has left the Yankees really wondering about what they need to do on third base or on second, whatever they choose to do, especially with Jazz Chisholm being able to play both. That's as well what is a pretty big bonus, I guess, in this part of things, that they don't have a specific position they need Jazz to play, but he has multiple options. The Yankees need to at least figure something out in one of those. And I did want to pull up the depth chart here for the infield. And looking at it, we know second base really is likely going to be Jazz as of this point. This is what it's looking to be. Third base, we don't really know. Jazz right now is on third according to the MLB.com Yankees depth chart. And shortstop, no question, Anthony Volpe. I know that DJ LeMahieu, and we all know DJ LeMahieu has had that third base experience, but age is certainly catching up to him, and especially not playing too much last season, really getting older, the fielding taking a regression, the hitting taking a regression. I don't know if I want to see DJ LeMahieu there, even for half the games of the season. I want some young, spry talent, and Oswaldo Cabrera certainly has that, certainly holds that, but I also don't know if I want to see him on third base day in and day out. The Yankees have a lot to think about here, and the way that they're making it seem like is that the Yankees are running out of money. Now, whether or not that is the case, we don't know. Obviously the Yankees can really spend as much as they want. Ownership and everything kind of favors them in that aspect of things, but they still have many moves that need to be made, and if they can't make this could be a big challenge for the Yankees here in this offseason. I did want to pull up our first quote here from Jon Heyman. We have a few from him as well in this article, really going over what he had to say. He says, basically what they're saying is that they're now out of money. This comes after the Aaron Boone quote that I mentioned earlier and really showed there at the beginning of this video, that they're thinking about moving someone internally to third base, moving them to second, whatever it may be, whatever they can choose to do. It seems like that is what John Heyman is pointing at here and really kind of emphasizing, but I don't think that is the case. It really is, in my mind, a matter of trying to save your money for future years. Yankees going back to the World Series this year helped a lot. This gives a lot of momentum for the Yankees going into this season, gives the players a confidence boost, but when you get to that point and when you get to the World Series, you're not in a win-now mode, especially with the Yankees' age. The World Series is someone where you see a lot of older teams, but the Yankees were not one of them. They had a very, very young team average age, whatever you want to call it, whatever the proper term is for it. And this does not mean they're really a win-now mode team. There's still a lot of moves that have been made to help them out for the next few seasons, as well as a lot of young players finally getting into an MLB groove. And adding to third base or second base isn't a necessary win-now need. It's more so of just a helping this team out need. And of course, Oswaldo Cabrera has to find a spot somewhere in this lineup, but will it be every day? I don't know, and I don't think that the Yankees certainly want that to be in specific, because if they did, of course, they probably would do that without DJ LeMahieu probably coming in and out of this lineup. But looking at it as well, another John Heyman quote here. Staying in the article, it says, they love the fact that he has a one-year deal on the contract. So this is talking about, of course, Paul Goldschmidt on the recent signing. Why? Because they're free agents like Kyle Tucker and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are players that will be interested in the next offseason. And of course, as I mentioned, the Yankees are trying to plan out for the next few years rather than just this season, and that is a good thing to mention as well. But there certainly are some cheap third basemen, cheap second basemen that can go out, sign to a 1 or 2 year deal instead of having to force the moves made from internally or internal moves, force them to trying to become everyday players when they may not just be there right yet. I want to pull up this one as well, kind of looking at DJ LeMahieu's stats, because, as I mentioned, I don't know if I want to see him on third base every single day. Played 10 years at third base, of course, but that is only 295 games, and 262 of those are where he started. Although, we do see a 6 DRS over those 10 years, not really the most ideal in defensive runs saved. When you look at him at second base, a plus 58, obviously a very good there, and first base, plus 4. We do look at those, though, and we do see that, he's getting older. His fielding may not be as good as it once was. His hitting's not good as it once was. Do you want DJ LeMahieu to take over that spot from a young player who has a lot of potential, or someone who will help this team out every single game? And that's not what, right now, DJ LeMahieu is bringing to this team. And as well on the hitting side of things, you see the major regression, really since 2020 on that 364 average year, going down every single year, and especially last season in the 67 games he did play. A 204 average, that is not feasible for the Yankees right now. The Yankees, I don't want to say need everybody to help, but they need everybody going at all times. It makes it a lot easier for these players, for management, to have trust in just about everybody and not have to rely on someone making up for a mistake made by DJ LeMahieu at third or on the plate. And, of course, a lot of moves that can be made, a lot of moves that probably we'll see another 1 or 2 here or there, and I want to pull up as well what we have right now on third base and second base in free agency. And third base, of course, as I mentioned, Alex Bregman, that's one that a lot of names are going to be going after. A lot of teams are going to be looking at Alex Bregman to replace whoever it is they're looking to replace. But one player right here that really, really intrigues me is Yoan Moncada from the Chicago White Sox. Made $14 million last season, now a UFA. 29 years old, going on 30. He's a player that really seems still as young as what he was in the end of the league. He's still a very good player. The White Sox, not the best location, and we know by now that the White Sox do not have really anything going for them, and of course, that really leaves everybody wanting to leave, and giving Yoan Moncada a new place to play. Giving him the New York Yankees atmosphere treatment, that would certainly help out the New York Yankees on third base, as well as being able to play really anywhere else on the infield. Another thing that the Yankees have been looking for is that freedom of just being able to put anywhere at any time on the infield or the outfield. And that would be another bonus. Would be quite a bit of money compared to some other, depth utility type of pieces, but it could be a very, very sneaky signing there. Going over to second base as well, there's a lot of names here. One I've mentioned a few times in a few videos, Ha-Sung Kim, a very interesting one there. $7 million made last season by the Padres, Going to be making somewhere really close to that. I believe the market value is 12.5 from what we did in that video. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but a few other names, Nick Madrigal is another interesting one, 27 years old, going on 27 years old, going on 28. He could be another one that the Yankees really go out and try to make a move for and just help out this team in any way possible. So let me know what you think. There's obviously a lot of moves the Yankees can choose to make here and likely, hopefully, we do see some more. But a very scary quote from Aaron Boone here about what the Yankees' plan could be, and hopefully, John Heyman is wrong about the Yankees being out of money. But let me know what you think about all of this news. Who do you want to see signed, if anybody of the guys I mentioned here in this video? But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.